Hi and welcome to Bitches of Horror.
And today we're going to talk about Midsommar.
Midsommar!
Yay! And it's from 2019 from the United States, directed by Ari Aster. Starring Florence Pugh? I can never pronounce her name. Pug? Poe? Wilhelm Blomgren. Jack Rayner. Anyone else I'm missing?
Will Poulter.
Yes, that's right.
Famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what is the film about? Well, it's about Danny and Christian, who are a couple. They decide to travel to Sweden to celebrate Midsommar or Midsummer. And they partake in this weird tradition that we have, but they soon realize that not everything is as good as it seems. It's pretty weird.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And I guess
Yeah.
so. And because they get invited there by their friend Pelle, who is Swedish, and he's a part of this communion, I guess.
Yeah.
The one guy who goes with them, he is writing an essay or his dissertation on folklore and wants to write about the midsummer celebrations.
Yeah.
It's just a bit different, small storylines in there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the same guy who made Hereditary.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very excited. And I don't know you were, because
I tried
really,
not to be.
but you really
and
liked
then when
Hereditary.
Then when the trailer came, I was like, it's hard not to get hyped.
Yeah.
And then people were like, oh, it's so good. And it was like, it's hard not to get hyped.
Stop it, Jasmine.
But going into it, I wasn't like overly hyped, but I was still like expecting good things about.
I mean, you were kind of expecting to see, like, but just be taking on a journey, like seeing.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting it for it to be the best thing ever. I wasn't expecting to be like, oh, this is gonna be shit. But I was expecting like it's gonna be good, but it's gonna be there's gonna be some things I don't like about it, which
that's where you say
kind of happen
in every film,
I guess.
Yeah,
but yeah.
But yeah, so how about the story?
Story is a bit.
I mean, it's about Midsummer, which is pretty unique.
I mean, yeah, the setting is good.
Yeah.
But the story per se, I don't think is anything special, I would say.
Well,
it
not depends
about
on, like, it
context.
goes in a kind of special ways. I mean, it wasn't really unexpected, because I was expecting it to kind of go in a certain way, which it did. I mean, not everything that happened, but yes, a few things. But I mean, I still enjoyed the story, though.
No,
I did.
I did. I think there were some things within the story. I think the underlying story I enjoyed more than the actual story. Her journey through loss.
Yeah, how she deals with the loss and processes it and stuff.
The emotional ride, the emotional story, I think I appreciated more than the actual friends going to a place and it's a weird people being there and doing weird things.
But I never felt like it was about these friends going to Midsummer. It was about her. Like, for me, it was about her. It wasn't like, oh, this is a movie about friends.
But there's this thing about her, not Hereditary, about Midsummer, is that there's different stories depending on how you look at it. You can look at it from the friend going to a place point of view. There's a lot of bickering between the friends and there's a lot of that type of thing, or you can focus on her and her emotional ride and the people around her, which is what you should be doing, because that's what the film is ultimately about.
That was how I was feeling, and I was looking like at the film through her eyes, kind of like at every person, every situation, how they were reacting to her, how she was reacting to things, and yeah.
I mean, talking about the characters and the friends and everything, I think that was one of the weakest links of the film, was the actual characters. I thought they were pretty boring and unoriginal. she was the only character. I think her and Pelle were the only ones that I actually and all. I mean, we're talking about like the main group of friends now, not the communion.
Yeah.
But her and Pelle were the only people I thought were interesting enough to actually like follow. The douche dick bag who just runs around. That was so like And then I mean, the guy who's writing the dissertation, it's not like he's okay, but I don't think that they take his story long enough.
They could have done much more with him, definitely.
I think he was kind of lost.
They could have done much more with a lot of these characters.
Yeah. I mean, Christian, the boyfriend, he was terrible. Like, I just thought he was the worst character. He was so boring. He didn't do anything to make him like it. Everything just felt so...
Yeah, exactly.
But it wasn't even like... I didn't feel like it was supposed to be like that. It felt like you were supposed to kind of have his back as well because of how he was feeling. Well, because he's in a situation as well where he wanted to do something.
He's still like a dickhead.
He's still a dickhead.
Like,
but,
all the time.
But you've never been in a situation where you're with... Because basically it's about like he's together with this girl. He wants to kind of break up with her, but then she loses her some of people, and then so he can't really break up
because he would be an even bigger dickhead.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're in that situation, I feel that situation. You want to get out of it, but at the same time you don't want to hurt that person. So that I think they could have built a lot more on that in his character. Because he just felt flat throughout the whole thing. Like I didn't.
Yeah, they built that up in the wrong way.
He wasn't too bad. Like so, I would be like, yeah, if he died, or if he wasn't too bad, he wasn't like too good. Where you'd be like, oh no, like it's just like you don't give a fuck about him. You just be like, who's this guy? I don't care about him. Oh, yeah, sorry. The characters were, like, the worst thing about the story. Which is so different from Hereditary.
I know.
Because there's so much depth in all the characters. And
I know. But Florence, she just did an amazing job. Yeah. Oh, she's my new girl crush. Like, seriously. Oof.
Yeah.
But, yeah, but story-wise and plot-wise, I can definitely see a pattern in Aries films. Yeah. Like you can think, okay, this happens, okay, and then happens, and that, and you're like, whoa, it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. Like
I like that he has his own style.
Yeah.
You can definitely see him in it, which I think is really good.
Like if you wouldn't know that he made this film and you watched it and you knew who he was, you would be like, oh, it's an Ari Aster film. I can see that.
Yeah. And I know some people are complaining, oh, it's not original, it's just Wicker Man, but, he was asked to do a Wicker Man-esque film, so you mean, what do you expect? Someone tells him, write something Wicker Man-ish.
And he's like, no.
He's like, no, I don't want it. But I think he did a good job in making it his own thing. I mean, folklore, especially things about ceremonies and like, old heathen, hedonic... celebrations, everything is going to go back to Wicker Man because that's the base of those type of films. Horror, folklore horror. Yeah, no, it's like folk celebration horror, that type of thing.
I didn't mind that at all.
Oh, no, me neither. I didn't think about it that much.
No.
I thought it had, Wicker Man is probably, from then, but, it did have a lot of 70s vibes in it.
Oh, yeah.
It did.
Like the way... It was shot, but the way it was, but
it's so hard to explain. You just got vibes of like it felt like pulses of the 70s. I don't know if it was. I think it was probably some of the shots, like some of the scenery, like the
and the angles and how it was. And what was I about to say? I don't know. I would just go lost when I'm thinking about the cinematography.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's trippy.
So good.
It's so trippy.
So beautiful. It's such a beautiful film.
It is. Oh, and I love that it's like shot during the day.
It's
Hereditary was kind of like mostly night scenes and dark scenes, and this is like just day scenes, and it's light everywhere, but it's still like some parts, even though it's day outside, it's still a bit creepy, and I like that.
Yeah, it's very awkward.
Yeah, utilizes that. Yeah.
If they would shoot a Midsommar film in the dark, it would just be wrong because...
Well, yeah.
Midsommar is the longest day of the year.
It is.
But yeah, I mean, the cinematography is just, I mean, even in Hereditary is really good, and the shots and the different angles. But even in Midsommar, I think maybe he even stepped it up a notch. But I think they had a lot more to go on with nature. With the setting, it's a little bit different setting instead of just being in a house most of the time.
It's true.
So it was very beautiful, the colors and
and I didn't mind it being like long.
Oh, me neither.
Like it really felt like a journey just because of how long it is, but I have to say that I was a bit disappointed with, because I was being told it was supposed to be a bit disturbing, but I no, it kind of wasn't though. Like in Hereditary, they had some scenes, especially one scene that just like punched me in the stomach, and I was like shocked for minutes after that. And I wanted like Midsommar to have that one scene, which would make me like.
I don't think that the scene. I don't know.
And it
the scene that was supposed to be that kind of you kind of knew what was going to happen before it happened.
And it doesn't have to be. I don't mean it doesn't have to be like gory or anything. It's just like the unexpectedness of things happening.
I don't know. For me, this film was more about the emotional part, less about the disturbing part.
Yeah, but emotionally disturbing.
But like, it was. Oh man, that one scene with the girls in the house.
I don't know.
That was like, I just felt, I mean, okay, I did lose someone recently, so I kind of have it in the back of my head, but that particular scene, if you've seen the film, you know which one I'm talking about, probably, but that just like, just right in the feels, it just, ooh.
Like, well, I felt like right in the feels when, like, she's crying and screaming, like, about her loss, But other than that, I don't know. But I've heard that there will be a director's cut with more sex and blood. So hopefully I will get my disturbing scene then.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. And the ending, I don't know. I felt it was kind of beautiful. The ending.
As always with his endings, I kind of feel... No, I mean...
I loved the ending of Hereditary.
I didn't hate the ending of Hereditary. I thought there were some things that could have been done differently. But... the same in this one. I don't know. I don't know what they could have done differently. It's just.
Yeah. But I really liked it.
Sometimes it's a little bit the same. It's over the top, and almost comical. I think beautiful, but a little bit like comical, in a way.
Yeah, you could see it in a comical way. Absolutely.
But even in Hereditary.
Yeah.
But. It's not like I laughed or anything, but it's just like I don't know what to feel right now, and I kind of like that.
It's like how absurd it is.
Yeah,
like that feeling.
And I think also being Swedish and watching the film, knowing what Midsommar is about, I think some scenes that were supposed to be serious kind of felt funny because they were like, because you know what it is, really, and then they take it up and you're just like, well, that's just. Silly.
not that anything we ever do on Midsommar is silly to start with. So.
And I have to say, but the one thing that I thought was absolutely fantastic, except for the cinematography and Florence, was the sound. The sound design in this film is fantastic, and it's so good to see it in a movie theater with that just. Ooh, it really goes into your bones, like really good. Yeah, I love the combination between the cinematography and the sound design. It's just perfect. It's almost Akira level perfect. Like, not really, but nothing is Akira level perfect.
But almost,
as in sound and movie. But I think that, I'm not saying that the story, but the actual cinematography and the sound design go so well together. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I liked it.
Nice. So, what do you give it?
At the moment, 8 out of 10. But I think if I rewatch it, I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
Oh.
Well, we'll see. But 8 out of 10.
I will give it an 8 out of 10. But if I see the longer version and it has like the stuff that I'm hoping it has, it might get a 9. Yeah.
Yeah, mine is like a weak 8, because I gave Hereditary an 8 as well, but I think Hereditary is better.
I think they're equal, but I think I kind of felt more for the character in Midsommar, just because I related more to her, because of her. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
the whole family thing fucked me up in Hereditary.
I know, but to me they're not kind of equal. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but if you see them, it's like
they're like 2 different dimensions.
And just yeah. But yeah. Wow.
Good film. Go watch it.
Yeah, go watch it. It's
See it in the movie theater as well, because of the sound and everything, and it's good.
And buy yourself one of these beautiful.
Hey, I got Swedish colors on. Ooh. She got Swedish movie on.
Yes.
Ooh.
We're so Swedish right now.
Hurdy-gurdy. We will also be doing a short episode on Truths and Lies of Midsommar.
Yes.
So watch it.
Yeah.
Stay horrific.
Bye.
Skål!